3 days before Christmas, I did not close the window tight enough, and my sister Willow caught a cold. My parents immediately kicked me out, ordering me to go into the woods in the middle of the night to chop down a Christmas tree. Meanwhile, Mom and Dad hovered around Willow, asking her endless questions and fussing over her. I did not cry, did not argue. I just grabbed the saw and walked into the biting wind and snow, heading for the woods. I did not find a Christmas tree, but I found a man. His leg was horribly stuck between two rocks, bloody and terrifying. When he saw me approach, he rasped, "Little girl, just get me out of here, and I will grant you anything you wish." I stared blankly, my eyes focusing. "Really? Then I want you to be my dad." The words had barely left my lips when I realized the man in front of me had passed out. After thinking it over, I pulled him free anyway. I hoisted his unconscious body, limping my way back home. Just as I was about to tell my parents what had happened, my dad's slap was my welcome. "Where's your Christmas tree? Christmas is almost here. How are we supposed to celebrate without one?" Mom frowned, her eyes sweeping over me, like I was something disgusting she had found on her shoe. "Who is this man? Why did you bring him back?" I pursed my lips, wanting to explain. "In this weather, he could freeze to death if left outside for one night, let alone with those injuries." Willow, however, suddenly skipped over, spotting a bracelet on the man's wrist. "Wow, that bracelet is so pretty. I want it." Willow was the family's little princess. Whatever she asked for, Mom and Dad would agree. Sure enough, Mom reached out to unfasten the injured man's bracelet. Ugh, why will not this thing come off? Never mind. Let him stay here for the night. Once he wakes up, we'll just ask him for it. After all, we saved him. Willow clapped her hands happily. "Yay, I will have a new bracelet tomorrow." "Riley, remember to give Max the leftover steak from dinner tonight." Max was our dog. I had not even eaten dinner yet, but Willow wanted to give my share to the dog. At that moment, Willow and Dad were helping bandage the man's wounds. Then she suddenly turned to me and said, "Oh, right, Riley, you haven't eaten, have you?" But Max hasn't eaten either. Just then, Grandma Elsie snapped, "She doesn't need to eat. She can't even get a Christmas tree right. What good is she?" Right then, the man we'd rescued finally regained consciousness and slowly opened his eyes. Willow looked at his wrist and said petulantly, "I saved you, so you have to repay me. I want that bracelet." Without hesitation, the man took off the bracelet and placed it on Willow's soft, pale hand. "I'm Mattias Blackwood. My friends and I had an accident while on vacation. Thank you for saving my life." I stared intently at my adopted dad, hoping he'd recognize that I was the one who saved him, but his gaze remained solely on Willow, completely missing me. Dad looked at the man impatiently. "Well, if that's the case, then hurry and have your friends come pick you up. It's almost Christmas. You're just being a burden." "My apologies, I can't reach my friends," Mattias said awkwardly. Eventually, he promised to transfer money to my parents once he returned home, and that's how he temporarily stayed with us. Grandma Elsie rolled her eyes at me from the side. "It's all your fault. You couldn't find a Christmas tree, and instead, you brought trouble into the house." Grandma Elsie threw a dish rag right in my face. "Get out there and wash the dishes." I quietly dished out a bowl of mushroom soup for Mattias. I was a little reluctant. It was supposed to be my dinner tonight. That night, my parents made Mattias sleep in the storage room. He did not know that the storage room was actually my room. Mattias looked surprised when he asked me, "This is your room. Are you their daughter? How come you do not even have a bed?" In the dim light, I did not answer his question. Mattias rubbed his temples, a hint of distaste on his face as he lay down on the floor. I curled up tighter, hugging myself, trying to stay warm. To be honest, I regretted it a little. I had saved him hoping to finally have a dad who loved me, but my adopted dad did not even remember me. Of course, compared to cute, pretty Willow, I was dirty and thin. Since I did not get a good dad, maybe next time, the heavens would send me a mom. Drifting in and out of consciousness, I finally fell asleep. Around 5 in the morning, I woke up naturally. "You're awake. Up so early?" Mattias behind me looked at me curiously. Dark circles under his eyes suggested he had not slept all night. "Yeah, I have to chop wood, shovel snow, feed Max. Lots of chores to do. Before Mom and Dad wake up, I also have to cook breakfast. Do not worry, I will save a portion for you first." Without waiting for his reaction, I turned and walked out the door. It was almost dawn. I needed to get today's Christmas tree branches chopped. Otherwise, Grandma Elsie would hit me again, trudging through the thick snow. I moved with difficulty. The beam of my flashlight swept over the deep snow, landing on a dark shadow behind a tree. I remained calm, expertly shielding the light. There were always strange creatures scurrying around in the backwoods. Sometimes, if I was unlucky, I would encounter a wild boar, but I was used to it. I did not get scared. Just as I was about to turn and slip away, a faint call came from behind me. "Is anyone there? Hello, please do not let me freeze to death out here." Only then did I realize it was a woman. Could it be the universe sent me a mom?